Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another Options and Play video update. Earnings on the radar, beginning of April. Normally, you're thinking, okay, game time, right? Into earnings season. Gonna have to wait another week because this upcoming week really super light on the calendar of scheduled earnings. All right, and Uh, it's going to pick up very fast, but it's certainly going to be an interesting earnings season. Highly unusual. We've already seen a lot of companies warning, a lot of people's pulling guidance. And something I'm also noticing is that a lot of these companies, they're kind of waiting a while to confirm their earnings date. Uh, Maybe because there just isn't a whole lot of visibility, right, in terms of their actual numbers, and things are kind of developing so quick on a day-to-day basis. So, just a lot of moving parts going on that you don't really normally see on like your normal earnings season, normal quarters. So, it's definitely going to be different. I imagine it's definitely going to be volatile too, but also, what worked in January, February might not be working this quarter, so kind of have to think outside the box a bit. All right. So Monday before the open, really nothing of interest. Monday after the close, there's actually not even anything scheduled. Tuesday before the open, cons, which I have up here, but they haven't confirmed yet. When they do, might be one I look at. Has a history of moving. Stock has really been beaten up, kind of similar to Signet, which is a trade that we just did on earnings, but still no press release confirming a date. So really, I'm just watching and waiting. Um, After the bell Tuesday, Levi's. So the retailer priced it in about $1.40. Those are monthly options though, so you have an extra week on top of that. Um, you know, this chart is like many other retail charts. I mean, just really been crushed over the past month. Not a name I have traded much since it's come public. This is a more recent IPO. I mean, the company's been around for a century, but the stock has only been public for about a year, or even maybe a little bit less than a year. Um, you know, I, it it seems like on a day to day, it's moving like the ranges are moving. So $1.40 doesn't seem too bad based off like the average daily trading range. The chart, it doesn't look too compelling one way or the other. Retail has been kind of hit or miss. So uh, you know, I guess maybe it'd be like a game time decision for me. Again, it's not a name like I've really traded very often. I really haven't even looked at it much over like the past like 6 7 months. So if I did anything, maybe look at like a low debit strangle volatility strategy, something like that. But probably not high on my list of things next week. Wednesday before the open, really nothing of interest. Wednesday after the bell, Price Smart. So we call it like the Costco of Latin America, or the Sam's Club of Latin America. Um, Options are priced in about 5 or 6. The thing with those is that, well, first of all, they're monthly, but also they're really thinly traded. And actually, like the stock itself is pretty thinly traded. You can see down here the volume. It doesn't do more than like a couple 100,000 shares on a day-to-day basis, and the options are pretty thinly traded. So, I mean, there has been historically some big moves on PriceSmart around earnings. You can see that there's been some bigger moves on it, and actually, like the way it sets up right now, it does seem like it could also be set up for another decent sized move this quarter. I mean, like those option pricing, those options aren't priced too bad, but I guess where my hesitation lies is just that the options are just so thin. Like the spreads are really wide, doesn't do a whole lot of volume, so it's going to be kind of challenging to get in and out at decent prices. So I may take a look. It's really all going to depend if the liquidity is better on the day it reports. You figure if people are looking at it, maybe the bid ask spreads are a little bit better. But um, that one, I think the setup is okay. Option pricing and option specifically, like the contracts, might be a little bit tougher to get involved with though. The Thursday before the open, Delta, which is not confirmed. So they still have not confirmed the earnings date. When they do, this will be big. And Delta is typically the first airline to report. So I imagine it's probably going to be sometime soon, but they still haven't confirmed a date. So right now it's just kind of watching and waiting, because I mean I imagine that this could be a pretty volatile one once they actually do give numbers. I mean they have issued updates over the past month, but I mean still it seems like airlines in particular are like crazy volatile at the moment. So um, I'll be keeping an eye out for a press release confirming the date, but as of right now, just watching. And then Thursday after the bell is WD-40. So this one's kind of similar to Price Smart, which I've just talked about. Pricing in about 17, 18, 19 in that ballpark. They're monthly options. Um, Very thinly traded. Wide spreads, not a lot of volume, poor liquidity. It has occasionally moved quite a bit on earnings. So you can see in July, October it recovered some, and then you had like another big move in January. Now the thing with it is that a short report just came out, so it's been kind of moving around off of that. So you know, I guess my bias possibly to the bear side, um, and it's to me like it seems like if the numbers are weak and it starts to roll, there could be some room down into like the low 150s. But like Price Smart, I mean, I think the setup's okay. Options might be what keeps me away from it, just because the spreads just a little bit too wide and the liquidity is just a little bit too poor. Um, on the day of reports, maybe that picks up because you have people focusing in on it. But as of right now, I do think the setup is decent, but I got to see what the options are looking like the day they actually report. And then that's it because Friday markets are closed for the religious holidays. So it's a short week. There's really only like three names on the calendar. So you can see what I mean. Like it's very light. But the following week is when you start getting the banks and the industrials, and then things really start to take off from there. So um, quiet before the storm. There's going to be a lot going on in the very near future. And I think there's going to be a lot to look forward to because it's going to be an unusual earnings season, but I also think it's going to be a really good earnings season because volatility is still super high. All right. So have a safe, have a healthy weekend. Um, if you like these videos and you're looking for more option trade ideas or more option education material, please follow up the link in the description of the video for more information on options to play. Again, have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will talk to you on Monday.